much for receiving me. And first of all, to those who scream and yell here so loud, they can be happy that they are in a free country like Finland, where the free speech is a right, where they have not any restrictions. If they would be in Moscow, they would be in jail in 2 minutes. Thank God we have a democracy. Thank God we have free speech.
Hello, and this is Armando as a guest today, and we are gonna talk about your experience on Finnish culture.
Yes.
Things happened to you here and European Union.
Yes.
So how you wanna start?
Yes. Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here with you today for this interview. My name is Armando. I've been active in politics in Finland for about 4 years now. I started this journey with the Green Party, with Virrat in Nurmijärvi, and basically I moved here for work in Finland, and then I decided to contribute being an active citizen with the community, and I've joined the Green Party where I've been the board member with Virrat for about 3 years, and then after things happening in Gaza and some disagreements with the party, I left the party, and I was a candidate for the European Parliament elections, and I think for regarding the culture, I would say I like very much Finland for being a peaceful place to live with the family. I like the system for school for the kids, which have been helping us so much as we both work, me and my wife, and they're providing for the daycare, so it allows us to have a very balanced life in terms of like being independent, going to work, and having the kids doing activities, not being on the screen
Yeah.
all day. But let's talk about the political things.
Hey, what happened to you here in Helsinki when you are famous on that incident? So please tell us
Yes,
a little.
yes. So during the European elections, I was coming back from school, and I was going to pick my child from daycare. And in Narika Torile, there was the political campaign for the EU elections, and Prime Minister of Finland, Petteri Orpo, and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, they were there to give a speech. There were many people there, protesters also from the University of Helsinki, many young people. And it was quite a surprise because you never see European Commission President. Like, I don't think it happens every day. And so I got the chance to participate to the protests, which I think they were fair. Like, they were protesting about human rights in for the war in Gaza.
Yeah.
And then the unexpected happened. When European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen was having her speech, and I was participating peacefully into the protest with all the other people. The very moment when she said that we should be thankful to be in Finland, because if we were in Russia, we would end up in jail or arrested, or like she said, we don't have restrictions in Finland and Europe. We are so democratic, and in the exact moment she tells that, the police grabbed me by force and they arrested me.
Did you say something?
Yes, I was asking questions to the EU
Yeah.
EC president. I was saying like, what is Europe going to do about the children in Gaza, like to stop this war? And I was also shouting like, I cannot deny
But
that.
it is a rightful, intelligent question.
It's a fair question, and I think it was very uncomfortable because everyone could hear that. And I mean, there were many people protesting with megaphones and stuff. So like, I don't think like I was the main person disturbing that event. But usually in my life, I've never been to so many protests. Like unless it's something that it really touches me, and I felt honestly that all this situation, the European Union has not done enough, and I was feeling part of that protest, even though I was not planning to go there because I was taking the bus going home as usual to
Yeah.
pick my child.
But were they violent to you then? In a way? How you experienced that moment?
It
They
was,
grabbed you, and what
yeah,
then?
it was physical. Like they, both of them, they grabbed me, and then I said, like I had just a moment of reaction, saying like, why you doing this, and no explanation. They grabbed me and they put me inside the police car, took my belongings, and I was there sitting inside the police car. And my first thought at the moment was that I had to go and pick up my child from the daycare,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was a cold shower. Like it made me felt uncomfortable. Like I don't think you wanna see yourself in a
Yeah.
police
Yeah.
car with,
Anyone would be frightened, and after that, hey, what the heck is happening? These
yeah,
people, police, they should allow freedom of speech. They should allow fair questions,
yeah,
and they should. European Union is a union of freedom. It
yeah.
used to be the goal.
It used to be the goal, right. But it seems that after the pandemic time, um, we are heading into a direction where it feels like the EU can do whatever they want to the citizen. Like if you don't agree with the EU, then you become a problem to them, and that's not how it should work in a free and democratic society. Like you should be able to express your thought, but right now it seems like there is a witch hunting, like similar to the Middle Age, in my
Yeah, yeah.
opinion.
I can agree all things you are telling,
Thank you.
and the Finnish system has really turned inwards in the past 5 6 years, and as well as the media is not anymore neutral news. They are telling you what to think, how to behave,
And
and European Union is the same.
good point about the media. Um, Before the video went viral on the internet, the media tried to silence and censor the incident of me getting arrested as a candidate in the opposition. And let's continue. So yeah,
The media, Finnish media.
the Finnish media try to cover the incident. Like we have to cover because it would have been a great scandal for the EC president to European Commission president to arrest a candidate in opposition in the middle of the European election. So the Finnish media, after the video went viral, they felt a lot of pressure from the international media because they're supposed to have free media in Finland, right? So they felt really big pressure, in my opinion, that they had to write something, and so it happened that after that I finally start to get interviews, and they wrote some articles, but still the full incident has not been reported. Helsinki Sanomat wrote an article that this happened during that day, but not the full story. You're getting the full story only thanks to social media and like people watching on platform like former Twitter, X, and so I think without that would have been really difficult for people to get to know what was happening. Like, I think this is the biggest scandal of the EU elections. Like,
Yeah, the European Union has been really making intervene actions against many political parties and even the election process outcomes. So that's the hard and very sad reality. Uh, may I ask, did they let you go after the police car, or did they force you to go somewhere police station after
they
that?
they gave me the fine, which I was not accepting it. Like, why are you giving me a fine for something I don't feel I committed any crime? And they told me that if you go back to the square in Arikatorile protesting again, you would be arrested. Clear instruction. And of course, I didn't want to have any trouble with the authorities. I followed the instructions and I left, though I felt that it was my right to be there, present and participating in the peaceful protest.
Yeah. And do you know the same happened when a young student reporter was in Otaniemi
Yes,
University, and he was trying to ask about President Alexander Stubb
yes,
that hey, why is Finland doing arms business with Israel?
yes,
Something like that was the
yes,
question. And then immediately he was captured, taken away,
yes.
and then the guys were like, ooh, with the camera, ooh.
Same.
Inappropriate for Finland to continue armed purchases from Israel, a country that has been accused of genocide by the UN and ICJ. You have a comment, Mr. President? No comment. That's our president, ladies and gentlemen.
Same process.
Same process.
Same process, and
Ah.
they accuse him of being a protester, and they gave him a fine, just like me. And it's kind of alarming because people should be allowed to make questions, even if they are in spaces that they're not specific for that, because the politicians that try to hide, they go in the place where they have their own media, but where they can have uncomfortable questions, they try to be far away from that. So it's very important. Like I grew up in Italy, and it has never happened that I know in my memory, like that someone could get arrested for coming close to some politician and asking questions like that. It's pretty common in Italy, actually. Like, people do that a lot. And
You have had those radical movements in the past years. I remember many very famous persons in Italy,
yes,
and it's a kind of part of the Italy DNA that you can go out to the street and you can show and express yourself. And,
yes,
and
definitely.
it should be the
It's
basic right here.
fundamental right.
Yeah,
It's a fundamental right.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's a little worrying, and I am seeing a lot of things not that radical in a public place, but in a private home and children and family context, and I would call that a soft fascism, a soft totalitarian attitude, where the state is intervening the processes and gatherings of people and even family life in a very brutal way, and then they are denying everything afterwards. If you try to make it a kind of any kind of, hey, why did you?
Yeah.
This was not right, and I am not supposed to pay any fine or anything. So then they are just they in a way ignore you. They ignore you totally, as well as the media.
Yeah, that like they didn't report the incident in the local media, so it's like as a young person trying to do journalism, it's like imagine being your first day at the job and then you get arrested for
Captured in a street and
making uncomfortable questions to the president. So it's must have been very tough for that guy for that.
but okay, but that was maybe something also a little accident by them. Let's say it was a little accident. But how about in more generic way? What are your thoughts now about the future of European Union and Finland also? How do you see positive and negative things?
Yeah, regarding the European Union, unfortunately, I don't see any positive outcome into the direction is heading to, because it seems as if the EU leaders are in a direction of my friend in Italy, he calls it Euro suicide, like economical suicide, but also political, because Europe is rearming itself as never have been before since the Second World War. This is a very worrying time where they are investing billions in weapons, and at the same time the freedoms seems to be taken away. So you're right to be against the policies of the EU. So like I would say that uh, Europe is going into a very dangerous path, and as an activist, as a politician, I'm trying to advocate for a more reasonable approach to the things that are happening, and especially for the war in Ukraine, but also for the lives of every citizen. Like it seems like that the European Union is at war not only with Russia but with its own citizens, or everyone who disagrees with the main policies of the European Commission. So, like, take example of opposition candidates around Europe, election getting cancelled, like in Romania, presidential election, candidates that disappear in strange circumstances, like in Germany, the AfD, which one may disagree with their opinions, but like 6 or 8 candidates they died before the election. Then you have now the EU trying to build a Ministry of Truth, like they call it, the European Democracy Shield, but in essence is the Ministry of Truth, where the European Union will decide what can be based as fact and what as an opinion. So they're gonna be all these structures, fact checking all the things, and I've never seen something like that before. And because Finland is part of the boat, like Finland is in the boat with the European Union, the boat is going in a very dangerous vortex.
Yeah, very kind of dark waters
It,
at the moment, very
it,
risky waters.
it very risky and full of icebergs, and like Titanic
People are disappearing just like that. If you mention German
in
party,
Germany. Yes.
German party politicians, and really, I couldn't agree you more
Yeah,
to what you are telling. That they have this branded facade of this democratic shield, and they have fancy, great terminology that we are the justice and we are the human rights
The-
oriented and so on, but
Yeah.
the actual reality is really the opposite.
Yeah, there is no alternative. This is what they keep repeating to people. There's no alternative. This is the best system possible, and you either accept it or we will witch hunt you. Like
We will cry and accept it. Yeah.
it's dangerous. And one more thing, like the rhetoric is so escalating from the leaders, like saying that we have to be prepared to die in war, just like our grandparents did during Second War. Like I don't remember any politician saying something like this
Mm.
in all my life, and this is the first time that I'm hearing this kind of dangerous rhetoric. And where is exactly they are taking us? And as of Finland, as I said, the is part of the boat. So whatever decision is made at the EU level affects Finland directly, and economically we can see rising in unemployment.
Mm.
Finland has turned one of the countries with highest unemployment among all EU countries. Then you have the borders with Russia are closed. Uh, Tourists cannot come travel freely, or every
Families
families
cannot connect
can
anymore.
connect together.
Mm.
And it seems like there's some sort of dehumanization about the other, which is very, very dangerous, because we are all humans. We are all like, I believe in universal brotherhood, and we shouldn't see each other as enemy ever. Like I think what happened in Ukraine is a political mess done by the United States to divert energy infrastructure to be dependent from the United States. So they were seeing that having cheap gas from Russia was making growing the economy too fast in Europe, and they wanted to maintain the strategical dominance over Europe
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
energy and economically, and uh, the all the things that have been happening there, they shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. It was the Biden administration, a globalist administration that favored woke and this controversy, good people and bad people, and good nations and bad nations. And when you choose a side like that in a very childish way,
Yes.
and forget all the things you have done, maybe in that kind of Ukraine history, how CIA was there exchanging the government, and how they had this own or kind of, it was not that bad as in Gaza, but they killed the eastern part of Russian speaking citizens. Some French journalist said it was 15,000 Ukrainians were killed in just a few years, and all media was forbidden to talk about it, but they were then put away from the country and threatened. And then when you tell a story that is not honest and have all the colors, and then European Union is also in a wrong way. And I'm asking that, is there a kind of some sort of deep state that is similar like in United States, that it is benefiting for this arms race and war and violence.
Yeah, it's
And,
a
and
business.
it is, do we have a deep state also in European Union and in Finland? The people who just make a business.
Yeah. If you think about the cost of the war in Ukraine, like just one single piece of equipment can cost you 30,000 for like this for the airplanes, the anti airplane missiles, or like you have like tremendous cost to cover a war, and the lobby of weapons is the one benefiting this. You don't have to be Einstein to understand that the people who are pushing for a continuation of the war are directly related to the politicians who are pushing for such policies. It's simple math. Like they are selling weapons and they're making business out of it, and it's a tragedy. It's a human tragedy that people has to die in war. So like the companies have to make profit. So the ideology here is profit over people,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
should be people over profit.
yeah. And Ukraine had this human and child trafficking business, and it was too good business for the European Union, those nasty people who then need children for the abuse or whatever. And of course, major part of the Ukrainians are innocent, and they are also victims of this horrible
I
war.
think, yeah,
But then
the
there are
main
these kind of
victims, yeah, are the
totally
Ukrainians.
secret levels, and then Russia is not that good that they are telling. Of course, it's a brutal war attack, but then it was Warren Buffett that was just a couple of days ago. He had a now theory that Russia will want to take Odessa, the harbor city in southern Ukraine, and then they are hungry enough maybe, and they have eaten the parts that they want, and they are now also brutally continuing because of this disagreement between European Union and US. So the Putin is in a way using this situation to capture maybe the Odessa, and then Russia would have the best harbors and Ukraine would be isolated. So that's of course I'm just saying this because I have to be fair that Ukrainians did wrong, but also the Russian is doing wrong things. So
Absolutely,
that it's
absolutely,
balanced, but neither is
absolutely,
good and neither is bad.
absolutely. It comes to my mind one of the beautiful movies I've seen, the Schindler's List,
Yeah,
and when the Nazis were taking people for concentration camps, Schindler, this entrepreneur, he was trying to save human lives and trying to employ as many people in his own company so that they will not end up in the concentration camp. And I think that should be the political goal for the politicians, like to put at the center the value of the human life, and not being who is on the right side of history, who is in the wrong side, but try to save as many human lives as possible.
yeah,
And unfortunately, it's happening profit over people, like the pushing escalation rhetoric and policies that are against this principle. And it's also the system doesn't allow people to talk freely about
yeah,
those things. Everyone who talks about those things is being automatically labeled as being on the other side. Like,
yeah. It is now a wartime rhetoric and wartime policy. Finland used to be better like 15 years ago. We had a open, more neutral media as well as political discussions.
yes,
Of course, we had some level of corruption, and every nation has some level of corrupted people that they are in a way allowed areas that you can talk freely,
yes,
and then there are some narrow areas where you can only have few selected opinions, and then there are forbidden areas. But, oh no, never talk about this. And but now this never talk about this area is very big, and this allowed
yeah.
the freedom of speech area is very small.
It's
So
very restricted. Like under Biden administration, we couldn't even agree on how to define a male or female.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy, you know.
And your child, if your child wants to exchange sex, a girl wants to become a boy, then in Britain, in Canada, in many countries, you could put into a jail if you say that no, it is my little girl. You don't do any chemical castration to my little girl.
Right.
Then you could, as a parent, you could kind of
Have
put in
problems with
problems.
authorities.
Yeah, because it's your little kid wants to do this and this, and it's a good business for us. Of course, they don't say this is a good business for the medical industry, but it's the fact that then the family is accused on really weird
Yes,
things.
it's a subversion of the reality. So one of these days, I received a comment on X on Twitter, being called a warmonger
Mm.
for having a pacifist ideology and for promoting peace.
Mm.
So we live in a time of contradiction and on where the opposite of the opposite, like not even in Alice in Wonderland,
Yeah, truth is forbidden and lies are very popular.
lies are very popular.
Yeah. Is there anything good in the European Union? What would be the escape way so that European Union and Finland could, in a way, save this system, not collapse? Is there any way
Yeah,
you would see any?
yeah, of course. I you know, in the Bible, uh, they there is this kind of law that when you own money to someone and you have paid the with work or slavery or whatever for many years after you are free.
Yeah.
But for the European Union, it seems that the public debt of the governments toward the European central banks, they have to be there forever, and you will always have to be a slave of the European Central Bank. So the comparison means that there is a way of doing this. You should be able to pay back your debt and to get free and have your economy recovered. And the only way to do that is to go back to your own currency, just like Japan or America or the United Kingdom or other countries. When you have your own currency,
Or Sweden.
or Sweden, very
Yeah,
close
a
example,
European Union member state. And they have really good economy.
much better than eurozone is doing. And there's a lot of lies about this idea of going back to Suomenmarka and to the own currencies for the eurozone countries, and that is a bunch of lies trying to keep the system alive. So they are feeding these lies that if you go back to your own currency, your economy will collapse and you never recover after that. But in any country that I remember having even economical collapse, there's always a way out of
Yes.
recovering the economy and standing up again. But there's never a way out of European Union if we keep paying the debts to the European Central Bank. So this should be the main political topic of all times in the European Union. Was euro really worth it? Was like you have seen the transition because since you were
Yeah. I think
living
it started promising ways, and we had some benefits in the first years. Maybe we had Nokia and some other big industries going well on those years, but then it soon it turned upside down, so that the Finland got into a stagnation model. The economy didn't grow. We couldn't anymore manipulate
the
the value of the currency.
yeah
And then we became a victim of the strong euro, and then prices has gone up, but the salaries no. So
Yes.
the really buying power has been diminishing all the time, and also what comes then really this bigger topic that now it's extremely. I'm worried at least that what this digital euro and digital ID will bring, because this central bank digital currencies and digital euro, it will be mandatory
Yes.
that you can't own much cash. Was it 1,000 or something? Or you can't own cryptos. You have
Yes.
to make them visible to the government. Why? If I'm keeping cryptos and not selling, why? This is the Orwell dystopian. And why people can't use cash like in the United States? They are going backwards now.
It's very very important what you said, because then the freedoms are being taken away, and you can be switched off with a click. Like if you don't agree with our policies, you have your digital wallet, we will close it, and then what you gonna do?
First we freeze it, and then if you don't obey, then we close it and
We
take the
close it.
money to the commission or whatever, whoever.
And
So that's the model. So if you are obedient, good, and in a way licking the ass a little. Sorry about this joke. But if you are obedient, then you get benefits. You are a good slave. But if not, then you are a bad slave, and anything could be taken away. Even
Yes.
your apartment, if everything is digital.
yes,
So who is controlling that system? That if someone wants to steal your apartment or whatever you have, if it's in digital mode.
some politicians in the in Europe, they have already gone through this kind of sanctions, and also activists like UN advocate Francesca Albanese.
Yeah, yeah.
She's an Italian citizen, and she has been sanctioned internationally, and all her bank account frozen, and she cannot open a bank account and have a normal life just because she was doing her job at the United Nations,
Yeah.
reporting for the
Really?
genocide
Really? Okay.
in Gaza. So this is quite shocking that
It is a reality already.
it's already reality, and or people like Nigel Farage, which one can agree or disagree on the political views, got him and his daughter the bank account frozen for disagreeing with the government policies, and so this is a good example that we're already having right
Yeah.
now.
And also, I have understood that in Vietnam they have freezed the bank accounts, enormous amount of bank accounts, and it
Okay.
is a globalist country, and this is like a cancer. This globalist movement. It says we are free and liberals and international, but they are not. They are trying to put all of us into the gas oven and then grill more.
Yes,
And that's the moral. And you are all the time, there is a big brother behind you watching and
monitoring.
and then asking more and more nasty things all the time.
Yes,
And horrible. But I think European Union should now see what is happening in United States. They had this. You can like or not Elon Musk, but he started the government office called Doge. I don't know how to spell it right, but the key idea was to go through all the ministries and areas of administration and investigate what they are doing. Are they doing things according to the laws, or are they doing something extra or something really corrupted or totally forbidden? And they have now already in 1 year only have been able to find savings of multi-billion US dollars. Just like that, hey, there was like 5,000 people who never went to the office in 1 year or something. They have been not at office in 1 year. Of course, some active group was there at
Yes.
office and doing the job, but then some other groups were not, and that sort of thing. That hey, looking with a magnification lens of the Finland, Finnish moral, whole European Union, that what is right and what is wrong, and then trying to talk about it,
Yes.
at least minimum, and then what should we do now for this current state? How do we cut the corruption? How we get the taxes lower? How do we get the basic rights and family things better? How do
How
we
to improve?
how to improve? How to be competitive against China and United States? If we continue like this, we are gonna be the next Soviet Union that collapses.
Yeah, definitely. It's a time of where the values are diminishing, and unless people will react in a positive way and try to make a stand against these policies, then it's going to be hard to live. And as of the positive things in Finland, well, of course, the sauna.
Sauna
Sauna is very nice.
and long summer days.
Long summer days. Also, when it's snowing, you can have nice aurora in the north. Or
And we have nice people, at least at summertime. I used to say it's different country. We are nice and kind when it's warm and summer, but then it's not all the bad things are then happening at winters.
yeah, you can go fishing, or you can go hiking, or in the north, or you can do many nice activities. I like Helsinki area. It's pretty modern. Some places, and uh, like here today in the library is one of the best library in the world.
That's true.
I would agree with that. Like you find a lot of books and services, and it feels nice. So the Finland has a lot of potential, but this potential is being limited by the European Union because they want to control the power. They want to grow at the expense of the European citizen, and this should be the contrary. Like Europe should be promoting the well-being of the citizens,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Best sides of each country. So
yeah,
Italy has the great cultural heritage,
yes,
most beautiful cities in the Europe area.
yes,
Finland maybe have the best saunas and like fishing, like you mentioned,
yeah,
and things. So we should focus on those and as well in the industrial way that
yeah.
we have this game industry expertise. We have good kind of still
Know
kind of
how.
international companies to make great ships and so on. And Italy has great car industry and you can make the best sports cars in the world and so on. So we should
Should
still
be.
focus on the core stuff of our
Yeah, I,
heritage.
I remember Nokia used to be one of the best brand in Italy some times ago, and look at now, like it has lost a lot of profits, and is having difficult times. But I think like there should be a rebranding and are reinvesting in those national assets for the country to really bring well-being to all the citizens, and
Yeah.
that should be the like that's our political goal for Opal and Lito. We're trying to um, bring back the power to the companies, to the national assets, and to make that thing that makes it unique. I think you have this thing in Finland of making things that last. So it's very nice that you do some product that they mean to be really strong,
Yeah.
really nice, and last in time. And the European Union now comes with new bureaucracy and says that you have to make it more eco
Yeah.
sustainable.
Yeah.
but
That's a good point.
you had more eco-sustainability before when you made products lasting longer.
Yeah.
And so you have all of this unnecessary bureaucracy also that is limiting where the companies have to adapt and readapt. You know, being an entrepreneur, having the machinery to produce, let's say, the bottles, and then the EU comes waking up one day and says you have to make the bottles in a different way.
Yeah.
So all these things we want to make bureaucracy, less bureaucracy for the companies, bring back their own currency, and continue that spirit of brotherhood among the European Union, which it shouldn't be abolished. The good things of the European Union, the values, like being have this unity among the EU nations, but have that thing that defines you, that we have the Finnish companies and we have our own way of doing things, and maybe why not other countries can adopt that way of thinking of the Finnish people, which for many things I like from safety standard or other things, like very strict, and so this kind of things that makes the companies or the service better. So
We are. Someone has said that we are a little like a Japan. That the train is coming usually when it's good weather and not snowstorm. The train is coming in right minute, and we are very kind of good in quality and long-lasting goods, as you say.
I
And
agree.
that's that we are doing what we are devoted. We put our soul and our skills to make it, and we could then when thinking about the European Union level, and I believe we should make the European Union great again. Each country, let's make Finland great again, Italy great again, and it doesn't mean that we should only sit in a sauna or make pizzas, but we can be in a high tech. But in a way, the reality. I was visiting Silicon Valley
Right.
once, and I'm making tour with some of our startup companies, and they said that they were joking first when we started the meeting. Usually, that hey, do you still have that communist party there? One party rules them all, and you are sitting only from 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. And do you have this communist
Agenda.
agenda? And ha 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 ha. Then we were joking that no, we are doing hard work with sitting our ass off and so on. But then okay, they were interested in many places, but then they said that we could invest like 2-3 million, but we are very worried. And we were asking that, why worried? We have a good business plan. You believe in that? Then they were like, it's your government, it's your taxation,
Bureaucracy.
it's your bureaucracy, it is your labor unions, it is the that it's so uncertain, small, risky country near the Russia, and it's in the edge of the world. Some investors they knew that Finland is between Sweden and Russia, but some investors they were guessing that it's near Turkey or Bulgaria, and then oh no, so that was the but they knew that we are part of the West nowadays, but then they still thought that we are too risky and too bureaucratic. And I think it nails the point that we have a great potential, we have a great people, great companies, but then the US investors, usually the discussion ended that, well, we have a great co-working space here, we have this and this startup labs. You move here with your team, and then we give you 2 million after 2-3 months. But you have to start here. We have to see you moving your company here, and then we are feeling safe because we can visit your office, we can chat, we can break the rules, we can make new great businesses, but not in Finland. It's not possible. And that was the
Yeah, I
view.
can imagine.
So it was the culture, and it was the place. So I think the US and many great international companies, they want this more dynamic culture and dynamic government, wise decisions, wise tax policy. They want that the country is such that it can adapt in economic changes, like we could do with own markka, Finnish
Yes.
markka,
Yes.
Suomen markka, and the Swedish have been able to do it. So they have been growing like 4% each year. Finland 1 or 0, 1%, 1.5, 0, and
Exactly.
20 years like that. So that is the evidence that something is stealing this great opportunity. And I would say that it is our politicians, because the US people, they said it right, that you have you have not multi party system, but you have one party communist. They all they pretend that they are different, but they are the same. So they knew it.
Look,
They knew it.
look at what's happening in Ukraine. They are all
Yeah.
agreeing
Yeah.
on the things that should be done.
Yeah, yeah.
There should be criticism and opposition and
The
so
debate is the fuel for innovation.
yes,
Good critics, good debate is the fuel for inventing something together.
yes,
Something new.
yes, something new.
And when they come to the slush,
Can
and they are
can we make the title of the video
with
something new?
something new, for something better for
Something new,
Finland
yeah.
or Europe, something like this. And when these great capital investors who have tens of millions, or the richest have billions of assets to invest, they are very polite when they come to slush. They are very polite, but then they handpick few companies, and then they take those companies to London, Singapore, uh, San Francisco,
places.
Silicon Valley, New York, and then they develop the company and the team there, because it's much more safe environment to do for them. But the Finland is seen as a kind of this edge, some sort of edge of the world, and very risky political country. So this should be now
Brought
discussed,
again
that
to the
hey,
discussion.
how can we change this image,
It shouldn't
and
be
how
a
should we
taboo
make
to talk.
this and this practical culture, that we are not allowed to talk.
Right, right.
It is what we started today. We are not allowed to talk about the problems, and that is the biggest risk for this country.
Yes, I couldn't agree more on this. That debate and free speech brings innovation. I couldn't agree.
And the same applies to European Union and Ursula von der Leyen and
Von der Leyen.
von der Leyen, whole commission. I believe there are good people in the commission, and not to
Yeah,
mention
I also
anyone,
believe
but
that she is a very good when she's at home, not doing damage for the European Union.
yeah, but we should now get this commission of ultimate truth exchange into something like commission of debate, commission of investigative stuff, commission against corruption, commissioners for the families and the children's welfare. And then we would have this momentum that good families, good children are hungry for success. And then when we fix this,
Yes,
own markka, better culture,
prosperity, wealth.
yeah, and then this would be the hyper best country in the Europe, maybe.
I think so. I'm very optimistic. If we bring back Suomenmark, I'm very optimistic for the economical change of this country. And being as an Italian, I you know it's for me it's an honor to contribute for a place where they have welcomed me and they give me opportunity to study and have a career here in Finland. So, so
Italy is a rich country. by the way.
Is
It
rich.
is much richer than Finland.
It is.
Because if you go to northern Italy, they have these huge castles and villas everywhere and Ferraris. And now this is a little in the end something positive also after this critics. But I know this Petter Westerbacka, who has been now fighting 10 years to build the tunnel
Yes.
from Helsinki to Tallinn. And do you know what is the idea? That it's
Yes.
not that tunnel, but it's the train road to the Berlin and Munich and northern Italy. And then we could connect by that. We could connect easily, not always flying, but going. It's evening, you step into a train in Helsinki, and tomorrow morning you wake up in Milan.
It's sounds amazing. Like,
We should do it.
We should
that
do
sort
it.
of thing.
I
Because
agree.
you have the money and we have the talent.
Yes, I totally agree. That would be a really true dream for the economy and for transportation in Europe. So we're talking about the future here also.
And then we want to copy the Italian law that no, bellissimo,
yes.
how you treat the children and you
Absolutely.
make them to grow good and feel happy. So we are not good in that. So we should learn things like that.
There's always cultural exchange when two, I think in history, when different cultures they meet, they always bring something good after. I see it in a positive way in that also.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
amazing.
thank you. This was a long interview, but I'm very satisfied. You are kind of wise guy, and you see our kind of country in very realistic way. And I think we should listen
Thank
to
you.
what Armando told us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The biggest driver of mass censorship in the last 5 years, it actually wasn't the Europeans. They were the victims of it in a lot of ways. It was coming from the Biden administration. This whole crazy left-wing idea that we're not allowed to debate ideas, that we're not allowed to discuss things, that we have to silence people, censor them, throw them in jail for silently praying outside of an abortion clinic. These ideas are going to destroy Western civilization. They're going to destroy Europe, and they would destroy the United States of America if we allowed them to fester. Thank God we have a president now who believes in free speech, but the danger is still there. The danger is there in Europe. The danger is there in the United States of America. We have to ask ourselves the questions as leaders. Are we willing to defend people even if we disagree with what they say? If you're not willing to do that, I don't think you're fit to lead Europe or the United States of America.